Scribble notes when I wrote these quotes. If I offend, pardon me, there's more of me to grow. Creative in my process, enjoy the show. The will is different when you recognize the different strokes. Different folks, same goals, we all want the most. So when we reach the top, we can enjoy the toast. The type of bread we get is fresh about the bakery. Told them don't play with me, with or without a degree. Don't question my intensity, bravery. Similar to agencies that want to see you fold. So just pray for me. Pray for me. Einstein with my energy.
When I don't know what to do, or if I don't know how to describe something, I just describe it really badly. Like, I don't know how to, this is a wood table. That's the best I got. So they sat on a wood table. I'm like, all right, we're going to get through this scene. And I'll go fix it later.
Unfortunately, I can't do that. I can't be like, no, I have to come back to this. I absolutely have to fix it right then and there, or I will forget. So I'll be like scrambling around trying to find synonyms, literally any other way to describe something.
A quick Google search of words.
Yeah,
I do that a ton. I feel like that's half the time I'm writing. I'm like, I use this word already. Gotta find a new one.
Exactly.
Comes up so often. But yeah, I'm big like writer's block. I always think that there's a piece of it that's psychological, like, oh, I can't write. But I think the point you made, you just start writing something else or reading. So you find a way to kind of, I think, reset your brain. I think sometimes if you're writing a lot, it becomes really, really tough to just keep going and keeping it fresh. I think is a really hard thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, how do you keep something fresh if you're doing it for days and hours on end? At some point, you're gonna start feeling repetitive, and that's when it's like, give yourself a break.
On that note, if you are working on a manuscript that you're quite far into, but you can't seem to like continue, I recommend going back and just like going through the whole thing again. Not really editing, but like reading through it. It may spark ideas. I know it's helped me a lot. And sometimes I even read back and I'm like, did I really write that? Like I surprised myself a few chapters before.
You're like, I'm good.
Or bad.
Or I'm bad. That's me when I read my first book.
Immediately have to fix it.
Yeah, my first book, I'm like, oh gosh, we gotta remaster this one. It just makes me feel that way sometimes. So we talked about some tips, some things that you've done for your writing process. What kind of advice do you give somebody that wants to write books but has a hard time finding time or finding the right idea? Let's go with the right idea. Like, I know a lot of people will be like, I just don't think I have anything worth saying or writing, but they want to be a writer. What kind of tips do you give them? I think
that everyone has something worth saying. And I don't say this lightly, because I find that a lot of people have a lot of ideas that aren't actually on the market, or if they are, nobody knows about them. And I find it a bit sad that there's all these fresh ideas that everyone's completely ignoring because everybody loves the cliches, right? But I just say absolutely go for it, because there is someone out there who is going to want to read it.
Yeah, there's always a place for the story. And I think the first time, at least in my own experience, publishing the first time, I felt like, oh, no one's gonna read this except people I know. And then there was someone that did read it that I didn't know. And I was like, whoa, how did they find my book? I did some promotion and stuff. I was like, they found it. And then they enjoyed it, which was really cool. They loved the story.
I always find it so satisfying when a complete stranger absolutely loves your work.
Yeah, like,
I don't know. It means more because they don't know you, and they have no bias, I guess.
Yeah, they have no obligation to enjoy what you wrote, and it was a really cool feeling. I remember the first time, and I was like, wow, they really did like it. And then the second book that I came out with, they liked that one even more. And I was like, wow, I must really be getting better since they said it.
Yeah, that's what happened to me as well.
And that's a great feeling. how have you how's it been for you experiencing feedback from fans and other readers?
I don't want this to come across as bragging, but most of the reviews are really positive and glowing. There's constructive criticism, obviously, which I'm always open to. I think I've only received one star. The reader didn't finish it, and they were confused, and I realized it was because they hadn't read the first book first.
That's a way to read.
I don't even know
order.
if they realized that they hadn't read the first book first. So yeah, those are really the only negative reviews I've ever gotten, which has really made me feel honored, actually, because there are times when I doubt my own ability and I'm like, oh, is this really good enough to like actually be a book? But readers are really encouraging,